Hello bass players, this video is to help you practice French folk song in your beginning orchestra packet. If you're looking at French folk song, and please have your music out, you'll notice that there's a melody and a harmony. This video is just going to focus on the melody today. Now look at the end of each line. You'll see that there is a half note with a dot after it. That dot means that that note lasts for 3 beats instead of 2. So we're going to start with a couple of those. I'm on my open D, and I'm just going to hold these notes for 3 beats with a nice slow bow. Ready? And go. 2, 3. Let's do 2 more. Now what I'm going to do is switch between 3/4 notes and 1 dotted half note like this. Ready? And go. So what I'm doing there is I'm making sure I have enough bow on my up bows to make that note last for 3 full beats. 1, 2, 3. So I'm saving my bow so I don't end up in a situation like this. Whoops. Right, so just make sure you're using a nice slow bow when you see those dotted half notes. Now, something that is very helpful in French folk song is your D scale. It's a shift you already know, and they're notes that you're already familiar with. So I like to play find the scale in French folk song. So the first place that you'll notice a scale is in the very beginning. The notes repeat, but they're still like a scale. So if I start from the very beginning, already I see that high D, so I know that I start in 3rd position. So I go like this. Then it goes down to a C sharp. Now in measure 3, it goes down to a B, but it seems kind of wasteful to go all the way back down to 1st position for just one measly little note and then shift back up. So what we're going to do is what I like to call a sneaky little shift. And what we're going to do is we're going from our C sharp in measure 2 to a B, but instead of moving my whole hand back to 1st position, I'm just going to take that 1st finger, I'm going to take my whole hand, just scoot it back to the B. So notice my whole hand still moves. I'm not reaching back. I'm moving my whole hand, but just to the B, right? Where my 4th finger would normally live if I were in 1st position. So it's going to look like this. Here's the first line, starting in 3rd position from my high D. To the C sharp. Now watch my hand sneak back just a little bit for that B. Then back to the C sharp. And then for the A at the end of the line, you can either shift back to 1st position, which is what most people choose, or you could go like this. So I'm going to start from that sneaky shift again. Here is that B, back to 3rd position. You could, if you're feeling really special, move your entire hand over to your D string, and that also makes the pitch A. So you have 2 options there. So I'm going to play the first line both ways. So here's the beginning. I'm starting in 3rd position to the C sharp, sneak back whole hand to the B, back to C sharp, and then you go back to 1st position for the A. That's option 1. Option 2, I'm starting at the beginning again. C sharp. Sneaky shift, still the same. And then you take your 4 fingers in 3rd position, just move it over to your D string. All right, either way, if you're moving on to the 2nd line, it starts on an open G. So you can either shift back during that open G, or you're already back if you're in 1st position for the A. Okay? The rest of the song until the very last line is all fairly straightforward. I'm going to start from line 2, from that open G. No matter how you get there, you're on an open G for line 2 of the melody. Now, if we're looking at line 3, we have a pattern, right? Measure 1 and measure 2 and measure 3 are exactly the same. Measure 4 is different. If we're moving on to line 4, same deal, just everything is a note higher. So instead of D, E, F sharp, in line 4 you have E, F sharp, G, and that happens 3 times. Then ends on an A. Now for the last line, what do we have there? If you're looking at it, you'll notice it is your D scale going down. So we're ending line 4 in an A, and then you have to shift back up to 3rd position and do that normal D scale shift back down to 1st position like you normally do. And there's just a little twist at the end. All right, just a little D scale with a twist. I'm gonna do that last line for you one more time. Actually, I'm going to move it back to the 4th line so that we can practice that transition. So here is the 4th line of the melody of French folk song. It starts on an E. Prepare to shift. Back to 1st. Twist. 1, 2, 3. And that is the melody of French folk song on bass.